Hey guys, my name is Anu Joshi, real estate broker based in Toronto. Today I am going to be having a coaching call, a 10-minute strategy and business session with Kent Clothier. Kent is a real estate entrepreneur, investor, and author based out of Florida, USA. So we're going to be hopping on a call with him shortly. Stay tuned.
This call is being recorded.
This is Kent.
Hi Kent, it's Anu.
Hi, Anu. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. So what can I help you with today?
Well, I know that you are a real estate investor. I'm a real estate broker and I work in Toronto. I'm about 3 years in the business, 3.5 now. And I wanted to know what your top tip is for working with investors in like any market, but specifically if you have anything about the Toronto market.
Well, I think that the thing you have to focus on, and I'm not familiar with the Toronto MLS or what they use, for it, but what their version of it is, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. But what you want to focus on, if I was a realtor today, what you want to focus on is, number one, making sure that you're creating the right opportunities for the right people. And the easiest way to go about doing that is to go into your MLS and go do, set up alerts and go search for people that are have been cash investors in properties. And the way to do that is just to go look at properties that have closed, that in the notes where it specifically said must pay all cash, only cash offers, all those keywords of where they put in the notes of the listing. And so go run a search on those properties, and you do a reverse lookup, and basically where you can, and I know I'm very aware that Canada is different than the U.S., but where you can, try to backtrack and find out who those cash investors were, right? Who actually closed on that transaction. Yeah. Because if you can do that, then cash investors are, predominantly, they are roughly in any market, they make up roughly about a third of the market. And so, by paying cash, by virtue of paying cash, they are investors. They're typically not your average homeowner, although that does happen. It's the exception, not the rule. And cash investors typically have a very specific set of criteria that they are looking for. Yeah. The challenge with cash investors is when you pick up the phone and call them, most of them are going to try to get into a place with you where they will say something to the effect of, yeah, just send me what you got and I'll do my own due diligence. And so the biggest value you can offer to them is to push back on that, is to sit there and say, well, that's not really what I do. I'm a really good agent, and I know how to invest my own time, money, energy into actually creating listings that matter. And I know how to bring those listings to my investors before they actually go and hit the MLS, therefore giving you the first look. But before I go and invest all that time, effort, energy, and money in creating those listings, I work with VIP buyers very closely, and I understand specifically, not generally, very specifically exactly what it is that they're looking for. And I go, and I would really use this word, pay attention to what I'm saying here. I go and create those opportunities. Create the opportunities. I don't find them. Right? Most realtors find opportunities. Most realtors go searching, and they and that's the challenge you have as a realtor, is that you will get commoditized very quickly in the eyes of an investor, right? Because they don't, they view realtors as a dime a dozen. So the way you stand out is by the language you use. I create these opportunities. I invest my own time, money, effort, energy in doing this, and therefore I'm of value to you. But I'm not going to provide those services, and I'm not going to go to that great length, and I'm not going to invest my own money doing it for anybody that isn't willing to walk me through exactly the opportunities that they are looking for. And so when you push back with that, you will get some resistance. And there will be cash investors that will sit there and tell you, no thanks. But you will find a handful that simple pushback will change the way you look in their mind's eye very quickly. Now you are looked at as somebody that, oh, wait a minute, you're not like everybody else. You're not just going to go search the MLS and go send me, a report every day. You're actually going to go create something for me. You're going to invest time and money. You're somebody that I can leverage. So you have to position yourself and use language that positions yourself as a leverage point for them. And when they see you as a leverage point, as a resource that is effectively free to them, but that is, well, let's just call it performance-based, right? That will really go way out on a limb and create value for them. And the only way that they have to ultimately pay you is by doing what they're naturally doing anyway, buying properties.
Right, doing the deal, yes.
You got it, right? And so that's a huge thing for them. But most realtors will never talk to them like that, because most realtors are afraid of work. And so they will not. So when you push and say, no, I don't work like that. If you want somebody to go do that, though, there's probably 50,000, maybe 150,000 realtors in Toronto. Yeah. I'm sure you can find one to do that, but I don't do that. What I do is I go and create opportunities. I spend my own money. I go and create pocket listings that I bring to my VIP investors and give them first look and allow them the opportunity to get access to properties that they would never see any other way, off-market properties before they go on market. That's the kind of language that really, really gets somebody going. And that's that. And then in turn, you actually do that, right? So once they do that, now what you want out of them are specifics. What neighborhoods, what price points, what ROIs, why, the biggest thing is why.
Of course.
What is it about those areas that they want? And solve the problem, right? What investors hate to do, investors have pain points just like everybody else. The pain points are they don't want to do the research. They don't want to spend the money on marketing. They don't want to go up and have to hire somebody internally and have them on staff and do the underwriting. So if you press those pain points hard in your conversations, that give me the data, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And I'm just going to serve it up to you on a silver platter, saving you time and money. So all you have to do is just say yes, then you'll get, the response will be overwhelming. Okay,
pain points. Okay, and Kent, another question that I had for you is, I know I found you through Instagram. Now, in any sort of service-based industry, they're talking a lot about sort of establishing your profile and your credibility using online sources where you're kind of open and candid about your business and what you're doing. So I have a little bit of a following on Instagram. What is a tip that you might have in terms of establishing myself as an expert in my space?
Well, funny you ask, because so I'll give you two things here. Number one, I'm actually doing a 2-day event in January in Orlando with my social media team on this very topic for investors and agents. So if you want to attend that, just hit me up on Instagram and we can talk about it's $1,000 I can discount for you because of this to get you there. It's a big topic, right? It's nothing I can cover in 5 minutes, but I will tell you the idea behind social media and building authority is you have to be omnipresent. And it's all about content. It is not about taking. It is not about asking. It is about giving. You provide, and people, when people are on social media, they expect you to be social. They do not want you to be, you follow me on social media. Mom's not here right now. Mom's grabbing lunch. Hold on 1 second. Where's everybody? No, they're right there. Okay. Sorry about that. My daughter just they expect you to be social. So they want to understand you and what your likes and your dislikes are. They want to understand what gets you going. What are the books you're reading? What are the movies you're seeing? How you spend your time? Why Toronto is so important to you? Why you love the city? Why you spend so much time trying to help other people get involved in the city? And then all of that kind of social aspect then provides you with the authority and the platform to then educate people in addition to that. Most people, right now, I would argue that if you are not on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, you're probably missing out, right? It's all about eyeballs. And people, and you don't have to think about content. I don't want you to, you don't ever want to really plan anything. Basically, when you're going out to listings or when you're doing anything, get the camera rolling, talk. That's it. We are being raised now to be extremely ADD and to basically, we're being trained by social media to think in 15-minute or 15-second video segments. And so it is not about when you're trying to come up with your content, I would argue it's not about content as much as it's about context. In other words, it's about just keep doing it. Don't ever stop. And the virality of it will take over, and your message will find its audience.
Okay. Great.
Is that helpful?
Yes, that was very helpful, especially about the investor mindset, the things that you said, the keywords and pressing their pain points. When I first started working with investors, I found that I transitioned from residential to like investors, and just it's a completely different customer. So I'm just, that's what I like to work with, the investors, and that's what I'm trying to improve myself to be more valuable to that customer base.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of customer that keeps on giving. That's the beauty of the customer, that they're not a one-trick pony. They're going to keep buying and buying and buying.
Yes.
But they have pain just like anybody else, and you definitely have to focus on it because it is not going to be obvious to them, right? And that's why you have to push back. The easiest way to dismiss you when you get on the phone with them is when they tell you, just send me what you've got.
Yeah.
And the moment you push back, in that moment, you are completely different than anybody else. So just remember that.
Okay, I will. And for the investors, like typically the investor profile that I come across is most of them have agents that they've either worked with in the past. They're not particularly loyal to anyone, but they already know and have agents in their circle. So is this differentiation enough to sort of overpower anyone else they might be working with?
No, the differentiation doesn't do it. The value that you bring to them does. Is it differentiate enough to get you in the door? Of course. I mean, we basically have, in my business, we basically have 70 agents that bring us deals on a consistent basis, right? It's one of our biggest lead sources. And we buy 100 houses a month. And we constantly have people that are trying to get in the door, and we let them in the door, but it's all about the value that they bring. If you bring enough good deals and you follow through on your word and you have integrity and you make it easy for them to transact with you, then then that's something that is very valuable to them. And you earn the right to get, to keep bringing it to them. If you talk a good game and don't deliver, well, no, you accomplish nothing except wasted everybody's time.
Of course.
But it is that is exactly, if I was in the agent game, this is where I would focus. Because this is where all the money is. It's just with investors. They will buy like crazy. They have consistent property profiles that they're looking for, which makes your job easier.
Yep.
They do not need bank financing, which makes your job easier. They move quickly. They can close in 7 to 14 days. I mean, everything about it is worth your time. So do not give up. You just keep pushing.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you very much, Kent, for taking the time to speak with me.
Absolutely. If there's anything I can do for you, you let me know.
Okay, that sounds excellent. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
So that was my quick strategy session. For more engaging content and cool snippets like this and what I do on a regular basis in my business, please subscribe, hit the like button, share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it, and I will see you guys on the next one.